Hello, it's SKFC back here with another video. Today we're going to be talking about Manchester City. I do apologize for my voice. I'm a bit sick right now, so my voice is going to sound a bit nasally. But nevertheless, so Manchester City, the team that has done it all, won a treble, won a Champions League, four Premier Leagues in a row, domestic treble. What the hell is going on with them this year, and specifically this last month? Why have they been struggling? Why has San Marino won more games than them in the last month? What the hell is going on? And as you can see here, this winless run is stretched as far back as the end of October. And honestly, the question we all want to know is just what the hell is going on? So I made this little, I don't know what you call it, chart or a picture, basically detailing what's been going on over the last 6 games. Obviously, as we said, they've drew 1 and lost 5. And in these last 6 games, they've scored 7 goals from an XG of 11.99 and conceded 17 from an XG of 12.75. And you also look at the discrepancy in terms of shots. Like, they got basically an XG of 12 from 109 shots compared to their opponents getting an XG of like over 12, well over 12 in almost half the shots. So that discrepancy is like shows what's going on in terms of what is actually happening. And I think the 3 biggest reasons for why the stats look the way they do, at least especially over this last spell, has been 1, the midfielders have not been doing a proper job of protecting the defense. They don't really track the runners, nor do they have the athleticism to do that. This team has also been defending really narrow, and this has been shown to have other teams hurt them in terms of attacking out wide. They've been making a lot of poor unforced errors. I kind of circle back to a lot of what you saw in Pep's first season. And lastly, their highline is just being exposed. So we're going to go into and watch some video clips to kind of really show what I'm talking about in that sense. And before we do that, I also just wanted to note, I know people have been talking about the fact that they miss Roger, and they definitely do miss him. They definitely miss the protection he offers, the defense, as well as the additional benefit he offers in terms of build-up play. But I also think another underrated player that they are missing as well is Ruben Diaz. Ruben Diaz, I don't know where that dude's been. The dude literally disappeared off of the face of a clip. And because over the last recently, their center back pairings have mostly been Akanji, Samuel P, who I think is like an academy player, as well as I want to say Stones or Ake. So obviously, as good as all those defenders are, there are no Ruben Diaz when he's at his best. So I would also say that they're definitely missing him a lot as well. So this is the first clip. How does this even come about? Who's not doing something? So this is Kovacic here. João Pedro's here, right? And again, if you're going to be this compact and you're saying that, okay, Brighton players, we don't want you to attack us through the middle, no one is offering any type of resistance here. So player has time to pick his head up. Welbeck does a good job of holding the ball and spotting that João Pedro's making this run. Kovacic is too busy ball watching to properly track João Pedro's run. And then at this point, gaps start to open up. Kovacic is completely out of the play. And then João Pedro also does a good job to find the run of the other Brighton player. So, again, it's just simple things that are really cooking this team right now. And trust me, there's going to be even more examples that I have to pull up. All right, next is their match against Sporting Lisbon. So I want you to know the first thing that is already wrong with this is if we go back here, right? So I'm going to just go back a little bit more. They're trying to press the Sporting players. And already on an island, he has 2 players to keep track of. 3 center backs over here. Or sorry, I guess 3 defenders, because I'm pretty sure it's Luis Lewis. I believe this is Trincao, makes the run. And at that point, what's his face? Guardiola is a bit more or less taken out of the play. And it makes sense, right? Because he's also worried about the ball, the person driving with the ball. And then Gyökeres takes advantage of this big gap because now this center back is also worried about Trincao making this run over here, that he does that they don't have any proper shielding for their goalkeepers or for their defenders. Because again, I don't know how within like 3 seconds of losing this ball, Gyökeres already has like one of the most valuable chances to score in the game. Again, 7 minutes on the clock. It's like it's just they're making it too easy. They're just making it too easy. And this last clip that I want to show is the second goal that Sporting Lisbon scored. So you see here, they're pressing in a front four. Lisbon decides to work it to the to their, I think I want to say their left side. And I want you to freeze here. This is where the issue starts already. So if we go back a little bit. When Kovacic, I believe this is Kovacic. Here, this player is what messes up this play. Because for some reason, I believe this is Lewis. He sees that Kovacic is already getting the guy dribbling the ball. And for some reason, he decides not to spot the man making this run when they were back in this area. He decides to instead run to the player with the ball, despite the fact that Kovacic already had him in the first place. And then now, you see this gap open up, and he's being outran to the space. And they're able to take advantage of that to score what was ultimately the winning goal. And then also, this gap here, unacceptable as well. So, 3 major gaps opens up within the span of like 20 seconds. This is literally right after halftime. So, again, this team is just not defensively disciplined at the moment. And I think this just goes beyond just having Rodri here. Because, like, Rodri can't plug up all of these gaps. So, they need to figure out exactly what to do. If they can't handle having this high line, if they can't handle being this expansive, if they can't handle having this much gaps between their players, then he might need to adjust. So the last thing I want to look at, before I finish this video, is I want you to see the opponent stats in terms of shooting for the Premier League so far this year. And funny enough, in terms of opponent shots per 90, City actually rank dead last in terms of the amount of shots that they face, which obviously is good. So that means that they're only facing about less than 8 shots a match. Perfectly fine. That's perfectly healthy. Now, what is very interesting to look at is that when you look at the amount of XG per shot, let me see if it's sorry. The amount of XG per shot, City actually have the worst XG per shot. That means that whenever their opponent actually does get a shot off on Manchester City, they have the most valuable, most likely shot to go inside the net. So despite the fact that they're not conceding that many shots, it's not really going to be that valuable if the shots that they do concede are more likely to net in a goal for their opponent than every other team in the league. Like, seriously, every other top contending team is down below in these metrics, right? Arsenal 0.07, Liverpool 0.08, Chelsea 0.09. So they're losing value. They're literally leaking value per shot. So the fact that they concede such little shots in the first place doesn't really matter when the opponent is more likely to score. So I think that is something that again comes from what we were talking about earlier: the lack of defensive discipline, the lack of protection from the midfielders, the fact that their fullbacks, especially Kyle Walker, just getting exploited every 2 seconds. But I do think that this spell has been especially bad, right? Like I said earlier, 17 goals conceded from 12.7. That is an extraordinarily high discrepancy. So that would probably also indicate that Ederson's probably doing something wrong as well. But yeah, like we'll see how Pep decides to fix this, because we already know that he will find a way to fix it. That I have no doubt of. But I just wanted to make note of kind of what I've been seeing so far in the last 6 games as to why they're in the spell that they're in. So if you liked the video, please give it a like. Please subscribe to the channel, and please comment down below what your thoughts. And remember to have a good day.